Welcome to Five Fires YouTube. Today we're going to be talking about the top 10 tips to deal with the massive crowds at Disneyland. My name's Cali Bay. You can find me on Instagram at the Cali Bay and also on Twitter to get all the information and up to date of what's happening at all the theme parks from Disneyland, Knott's Berry Farm, and Universal Studios Hollywood. But today's focus is how to deal with these crowds at Disneyland because it's gotten insane. And even this past Friday, the park hit capacity by 11:30. So it strung me to do a top 10 video on how to deal with these massive crowds. And let's go right into our first tip. The first tip is buy your ticket online. I don't know how many times I see huge wait times to just buy a ticket. You're not even inside Disneyland. You're not even doing anything. You're just buying a ticket. So buy your ticket online. If one really good way to do this is download the Disneyland app on your cell phone, and you could purchase a one-day ticket or a one-day park hopper if you want through the app itself. And the Disneyland app is something that you're gonna need. Trust me, when you're trying to deal with these big crowds, and once I get into the other tips, it'll all make sense. So number one, buy your ticket online. Trust me. Going into tip number two, you have to be there at park opening. And I know not all of us want to wake up early. It's super cold during December, January, but just trust me, this is something that's very pivotal to you having a fun day at Disneyland when the crowds are massive. One of the things is you have to get to the park around 6 a.m. And I'm talking about at the parking structure at 6 a.m. And you're probably like, what? That's ridiculous. Trust me, when it's massive crowds and the pack meter's at a 10, you have to get there that early. And usually the park opens at 8 most of the time. So about 2 hours at the 2 hours before at the parking structure is a good it's just a good way to judge everything. So you could be at the park opening, which is 8 o'clock. You'll be there no problem. Even though if the crowds are massive, you'll be there easily. Going into tip number 3, and this is one of the most important ones, buy Max Pass no matter what. If you're only here at Disneyland for 1, 2, or 3 days, Max Pass is a must. And if you've never heard of Max Pass, you're probably like, what is that? Let me tell you, it's something that you have to download on the Disneyland app. So you have to have the Disneyland app. Once you have the Disneyland app, you have to link your one-day ticket to the app. So now that you have it linked, then you could purchase Max Pass for $15. At least that's what it's currently the cost of it. And what that allows you to do at that point in time, from the time you walk inside the park to the time you leave, you could keep getting fast passes in a 1 hour increment, and you could get them through your cell phone. So you don't have to necessarily walk up to whatever ride that you want to get a fast pass for and stick your ticket in the machine. You don't have to do that at all. You could just go and do everything through the app, which is super important when you're dealing with these massive crowds, because just walking anywhere at Disneyland when the pack meter is broken, it's tough. It's tough. So having Max Pass is crucial to you having a good day at Disneyland. And if you do get a Max Pass early in the morning, the ones I recommend is do Space Mountain number 1, because Space Mountain gets the longest wait most of the time at Disneyland. And then the next one would probably be Indy, Haunted Mansion, Matterhorn, and probably Thunder Mountain will be my later on in the evening type of fast pass. But this way you could get a fast pass, and then you could go wait in line for whatever ride you want, and then you knock out 2 rides in an hour. Can't beat that. Trust me, very important. So download the Disneyland app because it goes a long way. So talking about the Disneyland app, into our top 4 pick. So our 4th best pick is mobile order. You're probably like, what? Mobile order your food. You don't ever want to wait in line for food, especially at Disneyland. The registers get crazy packed when the pack meter is broken, as all these crowds are waiting for food. Everyone's hungry, and everybody's usually hungry around the same time, 11, 12, 1 o'clock. 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Heck no. You do not want to be waiting in those registers, or at least in line to get food for like an hour, hour and a half. Then your food's cold. You're not even happy. You're in a bad mood. Mobile order your food. And what I'm talking about is you could link a credit card to the Disneyland app, which will allow you at that point in time to pay for all your food through the app. And then at that point in time, it tells you when your pickup window is. Boom, pick up your food at whatever time it tells you to, and you literally wait 1 minute to get your food at that point in time at the restaurant or wherever you're near. It just allows you to mobile or like multitask. You could go to window shopping somewhere or go get another treat while you're waiting for your main food at like Galactic Grill or Hungry Bear, wherever you're trying to eat. But mobile order your food. That is very important. Tip number 5, wait for the parades to get on certain rides in Fantasyland and Tomorrowland. So what I'm talking about for this tip is when the parades are happening, never, ever, ever, ever try to attend the first parade. When the crowds are crazy, it's just unbearable. So, but when the crowds are crazy, everybody always wants to watch the first parade. So at that point in time is when you could do a lot of the rides in Fantasyland and a lot of the rides in Tomorrowland, like Buzz Lightyear, Star Tours. And then you could also, and for Fantasyland, you could get on maybe the Teacups or Peter Pan possibly could be a lower wait time. Snow White, Scary Adventures. Those are all the rides that you want to do during the parade. And the parades, most of the time the parades are around 3 o'clock, unless if the crowd levels do go to like near capacity. The parades do change to 1 and 4 instead of 3 and 6. And 3 p.m., 6 p.m. is usually the normal wait time for the parades. But sometimes those are subject to change when the capacity is getting crazy at Disneyland. For our next tip that we're going to be going into is tip number 6. Always go to the second or third showing of whatever show you want to watch. Just trust me. As I was alluding to earlier, never ever go to the first showing of whatever you're trying to watch because it is crazy. Because everybody has the same idea you do. Number 7, bring your own snacks. And the reason why is just buying a snack like M&M's, or not M&M's, but just buying like a churro toffee or even a regular churro or even a turkey leg or anything like that, popcorn, it becomes a mission when the pack meter is crazy broken and it's just insanely packed at Disneyland. Just doing a simple task like buying a snack takes about 20 to 30 minutes. So if you could just bring your own snacks from Trader Joe's or wherever you would like, that's probably the best route to go. So you just have everything in your backpack because yes, you are allowed to bring snacks into Disneyland. I feel like there's a misconception that you're not able to, but yes, you could bring your own snacks to Disneyland. You could even bring a big Hydro Flask water bottle so you could just keep refilling your Hydro Flasks as well. That's a really good tip, as there's a lot of water stations that have like a station to put your Hydro Flask water that's where it's filtered water. It's not just regular water, it's filtered water. And there's a lot of those throughout the theme park as well at Disneyland. You just have to ask a cast member to the nearest one. Tip number 8, you have to be on the mindset of go, 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 go. There is no like, as crazy as this sounds, when you're going to Disneyland for one day and you're trying to do as much as possible, there is no mindset of like, oh, we're gonna do that and then do this, or no, you cannot be lazy. You gotta go, 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 go. That's literally the mindset you have to have. And then at some point in time, do take breaks. But when you have one day to do as much as possible and you're spending $150 for one theme park, or if you do park hopper and that's $200, sometimes it's even over $200. Yes, you best believe I'm gonna make the best out of my day. That is an expensive day. We're not even talking about parking. Parking was like $20, $25 or whatever it is now. Oh my gosh. Yes, you best believe we're gonna make the best out of the day. So the mindset is go, 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 go. Also, tip number 9. This is kind of a tough one, but I just wanted to throw it out there. Don't bring stroller unless you have to. And the reason I say that is navigating through these massive crowds at Disneyland, and Disneyland's not the biggest, most widest of parks. It's very tough navigating with strollers. So if you could just eliminate the stroller, it'll free up a lot of space for you and just a personal area that you're in, because once it gets into these big crowds and you're just trying to push through with the stroller, it could almost double your times to just get anywhere, because walking in Disneyland becomes hard becomes very, very hard with strollers. But if you have to bring a stroller, just bring it. I know for some it's a necessity just because of the age of the child. But I just want to say, and one thing, if you have to bring a stroller and you do park your stroller somewhere, do not leave your valuables in there. I see people leave their Michael Kors bag, their Gucci bag, their cell phone on the stroller. People, real world rules still apply at Disneyland. There could be a lot of theft at Disneyland. And just because you think you're at Disneyland, they're going to miraculously find whoever the thief was. No. When it's this crowded, theft happen. I know it's something that it's kind of tough to talk about, but I just want to help you not be a victim of that. So if you ever do park your stroller and you have to bring your stroller to the park, please take all your valuable belongings with you. You do not want to leave them at the stroller, because we're talking about thousands of people could be walking by and they look at whatever valuable you have in your stroller, bam, gone. And there's no way Disneyland could find whoever took that or anything like that. At that point in time, it's just a loss. And I really want you to avoid being that victim of that. So take all your belongings with you. And for tip number 10, our last tip of the day is, if you plan on shopping, get your shopping done around 3 p.m. and avoid the Emporium. If you're wondering what the Emporium is, when you walk into Disneyland, the big store on the left side on Main Street, that's the Emporium. It gets crazy in there. Do all your shopping outside of the Emporium. Just stay away from there. It gets so crazy. You do not want to deal with the lines and just the stress and all the craziness in there. But do all your shopping outside of the Emporium and go to the other stores, because usually Disneyland, if they sell something at one store, most likely they're going to be selling it at all the stores. So you just have to find the items here and there. But if you do have to go to the Emporium, try to knock it out early. Also, the same thing goes at World of Disney. I know one of the things that when we're going to Disneyland for one day and we're walking by the exit and we see World of Disney, which is the big shopping center in downtown Disney, everybody's like, oh my gosh, I forgot I gotta go buy Jose this, and I gotta buy Maria that, and Charlie this, and you know what I mean? And oh, I forgot I gotta buy a shirt for Mondo and blah, blah, blah. But trust me, do not do your shopping. Do not do your shopping at the end of the night. It's going to be a freaking nightmare. You're going to wait at the register for an hour, 2 hours possibly. It gets crazy. It gets crazy. And then after you do all that shopping, then you have to wait in the crazy crowds that are going to be at the tram. It's just nuts. It's just nuts. So do your shopping at World of Disney if you can early in the morning. I know it sounds tough to say, not early in the morning, but like right around midday. And kind of before 3 p.m. You kind of want to get all that done around that time, that 12 to 3. That's kind of the clutch time to do your shopping, because I know a lot of us, when we go to Disneyland, we want to buy stuff, especially for all our loved ones. You know, we want to get them something to remember Disneyland by, because I love Disneyland. I love getting a Disneyland treat or a gift. You know, it's just great sentimental value. And some honorable mentions I do want to say. The worst times of the park, like when it's the busiest, is 12 to 5. So be prepared for that. When it hits that 12 to 5 p.m., it's crazy at the theme parks. And cell phone service gets really, really bad when the crowds are this tough, mainly because there's just so much Wi-Fi going on. And like the cell phone towers in Disneyland can't handle it. So your cell phones will slow down during that time period. If you have any other tips that you would like to mention, put them in the comments. But these are my top 10 tips to help you guys navigate through these crazy crowds at Disneyland. And for most importantly, some of the people that might be going for New Year's going into 2020. Happy New Year's if you're listening to this right now. All right, everybody. Thank you guys for listening to this fun video that I wanted to do. I hope this helps out a lot of people. And honestly, I've been going to theme parks for 4 years diligently. I know what I'm talking about. These tips are going to help you big time. Just take my word for granted. Just trust me. These tips are valuable. But thank you guys for listening to Five Fires YouTube. I appreciate all the support. If you guys want to follow me on social media, at the Cali Bay on Instagram and Twitter. But we are firing it down, firing it down. The Cali Bay is calling it a day. I'm the main host, Mondo.